Hello dear Phasmatic friends. Today, systems of linear equations with two unknowns. We're gonna say, what's that? How does it work? And after that, in other videos, we are going to solve those systems. Follow me, please. First of all, we must say that two unknowns mean you have, for example, x plus y equal to 0. If you have that, you are going to see that you will have an infinite number of solutions. For instance, 1 plus negative 1 is 0. 2 plus negative 2 is 0. 3 plus negative 3 is 0. In general, we are going to see that if you have more than one unknown in an equation, and you have only one equation, you will always have an infinite number of solutions. And how can you understand, how can you represent all the solutions of that equation? Well, you can graph it. And if you graph this equation, you will have all the infinite solutions that are able to make this equation true. Until now, we don't know how to graph it, but doesn't matter. I will tell you that this is the graph of this equation. So, for instance, the coordinate 1 with negative 1 is a solution. The coordinate negative 1 with 1 is a solution. 0 with 0 is a solution. All the points that are over the line are solutions of this equation. But what happens if you want to know, with two equations at the same time, what's the solution? What's the common point for the two equations? Well, then, for instance, you have 3x plus y equal to 0 and negative x plus 2y is equal to 1. Then you need to know what's the value for x and what's the value for y that will work for both equations at the same time. Then we must know that if you have two unknowns, you will always be able to graph it in 2 dimensions. And you will maybe be able to find one solution that is a common point for both equations. Let's see. If you graph those two equations, well, this equation will be this line, and this equation will be this line. What's the common point for both equations? Well, it is here. So the solution of a system of linear equations can be one point. The value of x and the value of y of this point is the solution of this system. But think a little bit. You could also have lines that don't have a common point because they are parallel. Then sometimes you will try to calculate the solution of a linear equation system, and you will see that both equations has nothing in common. So you see, this system of linear equations has no solution. Finally, when you are calculating the solution of a system of linear equations, you can find that the first equation, if you graph it, is this line, And the second equation, if you graph it, is also this line. You have the same equation written in different ways. You have an equivalent equation. So the answer will be, as we have said here, an infinite number of points that are over that line. Then we have seen when you solve a system of linear equations with two unknowns, you will find a solution, you will find that it has no solution, and you will find that it has an infinite number of solutions. Thank you very much, dear Phasmatic friends. In next videos, we will see how to solve that. Bye-bye.